Hello students, how are you today? Welcome again to today's lesson. I hope you are ready for today's lesson. Now it's time for business studies lesson, class JSS 2. I want you to get your writing material ready for today's lesson. Get yourself focused, concentrate, so as to grab the lesson for today. Now, before we should move ahead, we are going to look at the performance objectives of the lesson. At the end of this lesson, the student should be able to do 1. Define office procedure. 2. State the importance of office procedure. 3. Identify 4 methods of making payments. 5. Differentiate between wages and salaries. Now, let's go to the meaning of office procedure. Office procedure can be defined as an established method of performing activities in an office. It consists of laid down steps which must be followed to carry out day-to-day activities in the office in order to achieve the goals of the organization. Example, in business organizations, there are systematic ways of preparing bills, making payments, dispatch of mail, issuing of receipts and invoices, etc. So when you come to an office, you adopt the method of doing things in that office. That is why we say that it is an established method of performing activities in an office. That is to say, method of carrying out activities in an office. That thing that you are doing every day, it will be established in your mind, in your memory, to do it that same way. So that is office procedure. Now, what are the importance of this office procedure? Office procedure makes for orderliness and free flow of work. Because you have already known what to do at any time, you will do it and do it perfectly. So it makes for orderliness and free flow of work. It brings about uniformity in the office activities. As works are being shared in the work office, so things are done orderly. That is, uniformly. This person will be doing this person, that's it. 3. It shows clearly how duties are being distributed among office staff or departments. If you come to an office, you will know what you are to do. The account department is to take the financial record of the business, the sales department, the selling of the products of the business, the welfare department, etc. So it shows clearly how work are being distributed. 4. It helps an organization to detect, minimize, or prevent fraud. Because you have a way of doing things, you will detect error easily and as well minimize or prevent it as well. That's it. Number 5, it makes it possible to make for future reference. You can refer to it. It can stand as a reference purpose to you. Maybe you had transaction last year and you want to refer to it. You can easily go there. You know the records that are being kept. 6, it enables office workers to be effective and efficient in performing their work. They should be efficient and effective. That is to do their work. Now, what are the procedures for preparing bills and invoice? Yes, Bills and invoices are given whenever services are rendered or goods sold. As in when somebody purchase something, you get to prepare an invoice to the person. Or when you are being supplied goods from your supplier, your creditors, you are meant to receive some bills. So you ought to pay this thing. And what are the ways for preparing these bills and invoices? So a bill or invoice is prepared once an order is received. The sales department or the sales office personnel records the date, makes necessary correction, necessary adjustment if any, and completes calculation. Then you give it to the person. But what step do you take to do this? One, as you are writing invoice, you will write legibly. That is, you write clearly so that your writing will be seen. The figures will be seen. Two, you locate the space, label, because organizations have already printed their invoices. So when a transaction takes place, they will go to the invoice, locate the place, label date, and fill the date of the transaction. Then, 3, you confirm the correct name of the person or organization involved. Then you write the name clearly. 4, the step 4 is you indicate the quantity of items sold as well as the unit price of the product. At the end of it, or you total everything, you total the transaction clearly and write it out. So that is the steps you should follow in making your bills or invoice. Now, procedure for making payments. Organizations make payments for various reasons, such as to pay for goods and services purchased. Remember, debts have to be repaid. Bills for credit purchases have also to be settled. Even wages and salaries of workers have to be paid, and other things. So, because organizations are paying for one thing or the other, they also have procedure for making the payments. That is to say, there are various methods that can be used to make payment for services, and they include, we are going to look at this one, payment by cash. Payment by cash is the use of legal tender, the bank note. Remember, a legal tender is a money that must be acceptable on presentation. You don't have to refuse the legal tender of your country. That is why you don't transact in another country with your legal tender. Example, the euro. Okay, Nigeria legal tender is Naira and Kobo. Before you can transact in America, you will change that your Naira into their own legal tender. And that their legal tender is dollars. Then it will help you to transact business. So in that case, payment by cash is the use of banknotes or our legal tender. So when you want to pay, you can pay the bank note to the person. So it is method by cash. Payment by cash, sorry. Then the second method of payment is by check. Payment by check. Remember what a check is. We've learned that a check is an order written by an account holder to a bank to pay a certain sum of money to another person named or bearer. So you can use check. Since you are maintaining an account with a bank, they will give you their bank booklets. So whenever you want to make payment, you can write out the name of the person, write out the amount and give out to the person. So it will be paid. Once the person gets to the bank, it will be cash. Then payment by bank draft. What is bank draft? Bank draft is a check written by a bank on itself or its agent. That is to say that it is just like a check, but this one is a check from a bank. They are writing it on their behalf and on themselves, meaning that it cannot be rejected. It cannot be refused on presentation. It will automatically be cashed. So, some people can use bank draft to make payment. Example, the exam bodies. You must pay through bank draft to them. You don't just use check because your check can be dishonored. So, it is bank draft that will need to be what? Honored. Then another payment is by bank transfer. This is sending money to another organization or another person through the use of ATM, electronic banking, through the ATM, through your phone, as well through POS. You can transfer money to another person without going to the bank hall. You can do that even without assistance of any staff. So that is bank transfer. Then credit by payment, payment by credit, payment by credit card. This is another financial instrument which serves as a means of purchasing consumer goods and services on credit up to a limit amount, a fixed amount. That is, retailers who have goods, organization will make out their credit card. You be buying with that credit card. Once you give them the credit card, they will slot it in, they will deduct the amount. Then you've already paid. It's just like when you are buying with your POS. Okay, we have payment through the post office. Payment can as well be made through post office by the use of money order or postal order. Money order or postal order. Then the most important payment made by organization is payment of wages and salaries. Remember, workers who directly or indirectly render their labor to the organization should receive their reward. And the money paid to employees, that is workers, by business organization is known as wages and salaries. So you can receive your wages and salaries through any of these method we've stated. Now, it is the duty of the wages office or department to ensure that workers are paid either on daily, weekly or monthly basis, depending. So, a wage is a daily or weekly money paid to an unskilled labor. That is the manual workers. Remember when we learned our factors of production on labor, we said we have 3 types of labor. Then we have 1, the skilled labor, unskilled and semi-skilled. Okay, let me start by the one we have here, the unskilled labor. The unskilled labor is a labor who does not have any training or education, that does not require any training or education pertaining to the work, what you can do, because you have, God has given you the strength to do it. Let's say when you see somebody pushing wheelbarrow, you can just do it because you have the strength. That is unskilled labor. You did not learn it. That is manual work. Or you see them packing sand from one place to another. You can do it because you have the strength. It's unskilled labor because you did not undergo any training pertaining to that. So that is it. Then why salaries why the skilled are those that have long period of training or education before they could come out to become that in that profession. That is skilled. They had long period of training and education, like the doctors, the lawyers, the medical professional practitioners. So they are now. Emeka Nwori. Let me pause here and ask question. Emeka Nwori, who can you regard as an unskilled labor? Give me an example of an unskilled labor. Okay, that's good. Sandra, can you give me an example of skilled worker? Very good. The pharmacist. Yes, that's correct. Have you seen? That's why I say you should be paying attention. You should get yourself focused. So to grab, understand what we are, comprehend what we are doing. Thank you for that. Now, the semi-skilled is the person that started the training but could not finish it. So that is by the way. Thank you for that. Now, like we said, a wage is paid daily or weekly to unskilled labor. Why? Salary is amount of money paid to skilled labor at the end of each month for work done. Have you seen the difference? Thank you. Now, methods of paying wages. Listen. Remember, I've said that we have methods of payment. I said we have method of payment. Payment by cash, payment by check, by bank draft. Remember, by bank transfer, credit card, through the post office. Now, let's look at methods of paying wages. 1. Piece rate. This is payment of wage based on the unit of output of work done. Remember, this is the payment of wage based on the unit of output of work done. Let's say in an organization, when they say production of 1 carton of Indomie is 500 naira. When you can produce 1 carton, you will be paid 500 naira. That is exactly what it is. If you are able to produce as many as 20 cartons, your wage will be multiplied by that number of cartons. That is in the quantity. That is the output. So that is piece rate. Time rate. This is a wage system based on the number of hours a worker puts into work per day. This one is based or is determined by time. If you can put 1 hour is 300 naira. You will see workers trying to work for a long time or a longer time so as to gain more time to increase their wage. That is time rate for you. It's a wage system based on the number of hours a worker puts into work per day. 3. Commission basis. This is a system of wage payment based on certain percentage of total sales. It is usually applied for salesmen where their wage is based on their total sales. Let me explain more. In this commission basis, you will have your payment based on your total sales. You can go, that is the salesman, as you sell, that's how your payment, your wage will be. If you can sell as many as, it means that your wage will be high. Example, you can go to some companies to market their products and they will tell you selling 1 carton is 200 naira. 3 cartons, as in 1 carton is 300, you will see salesmen, distributors, they will be struggling to sell as many as so as to increase their wage. That is why we said based on certain percentage of their total sale. Okay, the fourth one is profit sharing method. Under this system, a worker has a standard wage and in addition to that, gets an agreed part of the profit. They say, what will be giving you is 5,000 naira as your standard wage. But in addition to that, if the company could make more profit, you will still get part of it. So that is what profit sharing method is. You have a standard wage. And in addition to that, from the profit of the organization, they will give you an agreed amount. On top of, coupled with that one you have already, that is profit sharing method. Premium bonus. This is a system where a worker is able to finish a job within a stated time. A bonus is usually offered for saving part of the time doing a particular job. See, we have the work to be done within 3 hours. Let's say from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. From 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock, you ought to finish this thing. You ought to clear this plot of land. So, if you are able to finish it on time, without finishing the time, without getting to or going beyond 11 o'clock, the organization will pay you and pay you for conserving extra time. Now, differences between wages and salaries. Remember, I said wages are paid to unskilled and casual workers, while salaries are paid to skilled and permanent workers. Wages are based on output, while salaries are not based on output. So you don't say, I've worked, I have worked 20 cartons of this thing today. That is how my salary will be at the end of the month. No, it is on wages that they will pay you such amount because it is based on your output, while salaries are not based on output. Okay, number 3, wages are not fixed, while salaries are fixed. Remember, you can earn at the end of the day 5,000 naira today. Tomorrow, it might be 3,000 naira. Next other time, it might be 10,000 naira. So, your wages, the wage you receive is not fixed. Why? That of the salaries are fixed. At the end of the month, you may receive 50,000 naira. Next other month, 50,000 naira. Until when the organization may increase your salary. But from time to time, you receive the same amount because it is what? Fixed. Then wages are not taxable, while salaries are not taxable. Of course, tax is a compulsory levy by the government on individuals, on citizens that up to a certain age. In Nigeria, is 18 years. Once you get to 18 years, you'll be paying tax. So when you are receiving your wage, no need of paying, they don't charge tax. But on salary, you must pay your tax. You must pay your tax. That is it. Okay, let's pause here. What are the methods of paying wages? Darlington, mention any 3 methods of paying wages. Yes. Profit sharing method. You are there. Thank you. Michael, get yourself focused. Give me one difference between wages and salaries. Okay, see, no, just put it this way. Wages are based on output, while salaries are not based on output. Next time, listen very well so as to get what we are saying. Now, there are 3 methods, or there are 3 important documents. There are 3 important documents prepared by the wages office. Remember, I've said what wages office is. That unit in an organization, or that department in an organization that handles the payment of wages and salaries of workers. Now, 3 important documents prepared by the wages office. Payroll. Number 1 is payroll. A payroll is a document containing the names and particulars of workers in an organization, as well as the amount to be paid. So, in an organization, your name must appear on the payroll before you be paid. If your name is not on the payroll, it means that you shouldn't be paid. So, a payroll is a document containing the list of names of workers in an organization as well as their amount, as well as their salary. Another one is pay slip, or we call it pay advice. Pay slip or pay advice. Pay slip or pay advice. This is a wage document, or this is a document as well, whichever way you want to put it. This is a wage document that shows how a worker arrived at his net pay. Pay slip is just like the name goes, slip. It's just a piece of paper. It's usually attached to every worker's wage package. Now let me explain further. Pay slip is a piece of paper, a small piece of paper that contains the breakdown of your salary or your wage. That is to say, telling you how you arrive at a certain net pay or net wage. So in this case, that document will tell you, look at, oh, I should be earning, my money should be 100,000. Why am I going home with 80,000 naira? This payslip will tell you why. You might have some loan money borrowed from the organization. They will deduct it. In that slip, you will see it deducted from your salary. You will have maybe some bonus given to you. You will see it there. So a payslip is the document that shows you how a worker arrived at his net pay. So in every wage package or salary, you will see the payslip because it will tell you. Then the last one, which is also important, is the voucher. A voucher is a source document each worker is made to sign as he or she collects his wage. This voucher serves as an evidence, of having been paid. So once you receive that your salary, or once you receive that your wage, the account office will prepare a voucher. In that voucher, they will ask you to sign. You are meant to sign on it so as to acknowledge that you have received the payment or received the cash. So as you can see, this document is very important. So as a worker in an organization, or as a worker serving as an accountant in an organization, you ought to always prepare your voucher whenever you make any payment. Because if you did not do that, the receiver of the payment might forget that, I have received payment for this. But if that document is there, it will serve as an evidence that, I've received it, that's why I'm signing it. So always prepare a voucher and give to anybody you are paying to sign. Now our assignment. Before we go to our assignment, remember what we have done. We've done the procedure for making a defined office procedure. We started the procedure for making payments. We started the payment of wages and salary as well as the method of paying wages. We stated differences between wages and salaries as well as the documents handled by the wages office. Now, our assignment. This assignment is important. Do it. Don't joke with it. And another thing I want to let you know, don't pass out your assignment for somebody else to copy. Don't copy your assignment. Do your own and submit it at the appropriate portal. To the appropriate portal. Now the assignment. Number 1. What is office procedure? You are meant to define it. Number 2. Set 3 importance of office procedure. Number 3. Identify 3 methods of making payment. You know we have many of them, but I said only 3. Number 4. State 3 differences between wages and salaries. We have many wages differences, but just tell me 3. 5. What is the difference between payroll and payslip? What is the difference between payroll and payslip? Thank you. Do the assignment and submit it on time. And don't copy. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you for listening. God bless you.